What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So before we get on into today's video, we have our cold foil Jim Hawkins wheel spinning right now giveaway. I had to use your tags instead of your names because, well, YouTube was just not very pleasant for me. That could not have gotten any closer. So NK8YN2PC7T, gonna have to come back to that. We're gonna hop on over to the video, scroll through the comments, find our lucky winner. Oh, just bear with me here for a second, guys. I cropped the screen for more visually appealing effects, and well, now it's not because we're missing our comment section on the video. So again, checking our winner. Okay, let's scroll comments once they load. Again, it doesn't show me your names here, it just shows me your handles. Scrolling. Hopefully I don't scroll past it. Luckily, a lot of you guys have like names and words and stuff, so it's one of the few that does not. User, no, it wasn't that one. NK8YN. Keep going, and literally at the very bottom, 1 day ago. Wow, got in just in time. 1 day left. So congrats, you're the winner. What else? Wheel spin will be, because obviously I'm recording this video and have to edit it, but I cannot type either. Please, wow, I really cannot type. Reach out through our Discord. But anyway, guys, we're going to go on and get into this video. So thanks for participating, 66 entries, and let's get into today's video. And here we are with our first replay. We're doing location control today. I felt like it was fitting to do this one after the Pirates deck because it's the same color combination. We are working on setting up a Patreon, so do keep an eye out for that. It's going to be completely where all of the proceeds go right back into the channel, and I don't mean towards my equipment or anything like that. They're going to go in towards giveaways. I want to do monthly giveaways for all the subscribers, but there will be a better giveaway that you have to be a Patreon to get in on. However, I'm not going to set up a Patreon just for that. I'm working out the details because I want to give back and do more through it, because that's what the platform was initially set up to do. So I am working on that, seeing what others are offering, and going to do the best that I can within my means. And if it for some reason just isn't going to work, I will scrap the whole idea. But whatever you would like to see in that, let me know down below, and it might just make its way in. So Ruby Amethyst is our first one. We are going first. Opening hand, along came Zeus, Beast, Prince Eric, Baboom, Be Prepared, Jim Hawkins, and another Prince Eric. We are going first, so we don't really need the power cards. We want to keep Jim Hawkins because he's a guy you try to get to. And well, we hit RLS Legacy, so that is very good. Prince Eric, another very strong card out of Ruby. We hit another Baboom, get another Prince Eric back, and a Robin Hood. So we're not going to have a turn one play, but that's okay. And statistically, if you open 7, you mulligan 5, you should hit a 1 play. It's not always going to happen, but you should. This time we did not, so we have to work around that. We draw into another Baboom. We're not going to need it, so we go put our Prince Eric down for our challenger. We have Baboom now, or another Prince Eric as our follow-up plays. We draw into a Jim Hawkins. I'm not going to need 2 of them. So since he put nothing down for turn 2 as well, we're going to play another Prince Eric. He inks a Maui and now comes down with the Maleficent to draw a card. We draw into another Robin Hood. That can go away. It's not going to be helpful. Baboom, get rid of that to help prevent any bounce plays with his Madam Mims, and just the free quest or potentially singing the friends on the other side. He inks that, inks the other copy, gets to Rabbit to draw, almost said draws into Rabbit. Rabbit, so he draws a card, we saw him ink the Maleficent, and now we're doing okay. Of course we draw the other Robin Hood, not going to matter here though, because we're going to go Jim Hawkins to RLS and then move there for free, quest. He's in a awkward spot now because he can't take out Prince Eric with the challenge from the Rabbit, and we're really threatening a lot here with our RLS and our Hawkins. He does come down with Crab to give Challenger +3 to his Rabbit, which is going to allow it to deal 8 to our location. That's actually pretty good. we still have that Prince Eric in our hand, which forces our opponent to make some really awkward decisions. Friends on the other side gets inked and he passes turn. We draw into another Jim Hawkins. We're going to take out that rabbit. He's going to draw, but realistically, that's something you just have to get over at this point. So we put the Prince Eric down this time, not to ink the Jim Hawkins. We're going to lose our location, but with a 10-0 lead, that's okay. Madam Mim Fox comes down, which is probably the best thing he could have done, especially with the challenger, and he gets rid of our Jim Hawkins. Now he comes down with just an Olaf as a board presence, if you will. We can go quest for 4 more, since there's not a whole lot else we can do, and throw down a Jim Hawkins. I opt to keep that Prince Eric ready, because otherwise Olaf would just trade into it really well and survive the hit. So instead of being able to do that, we make it where Olaf isn't going to do anything outside of quest or be bounce fodder, anything like that. So we didn't want him to just gain the advantage of his one Olaf being able to deal that final blow. So that's why we chose to do that. He did forget to quest there. He could have did that to gain a little advantage. Crash into the Prince Eric, which is going to take out the Mim Fox. Then wait to see what he does. The Olaf comes back down. We draw into an RLS Legacy. So we go ahead, play that Jim Hawkins moves, Prince Eric quest. Now we're at 13, not worried about the Olaf. Not really sure how he could win here. Be Prepared is probably the best card he could have, but we're still guaranteed to go to 9 then, or 19, sorry, and he would still have to be able to put out 8 damage on his following turn. I don't think you can do that. I don't think he could put out 7 damage if he attacks with Olaf into Legacy. And now say, ink a card, Be Prepared. Maui isn't enough. He won't have any ink to play this turn, so who else? Maui's 5. Maui plus Mim Fox, I guess. So go to 19. We draw Captain Hook. We just pass turn here. He could go Maui, attack, ink a card, go to Mim Fox. He does concede, didn't want to do a rematch. We get paired up against another Ruby Amethyst. So we're going first. Let's see our last card there. John Silver, Along Came Zeus, Robin Hood, Agrabah, Nottingham, Along Came Zeus again, and Be Prepared. So decent bit of uninkables. We have turns 1, 2, 3 curbed, and even 4, because you'd go 1 Robin Hood, 2 Nottingham, 3 Silver, 4 Agrabah. But yeah, we keep it. I mean, because they're ink at the worst case, we draw Nottingham, Maui, and another Along Came Zeus. I'm okay with that. We have our first 3 turns set. Like I said, you're going to want to get the John Silver down before that Agrabah, because once you play it then on the following turn, he's going to get another lore and resist 1 because of it. We have 2 of them, so we get rid of 1 of our Nottinghams. I want to keep Maui potentially. The deck really thrives because you let your locations kind of passively get you lore, and you use things like Maui and then the damage cards from Steel to control the board state and basically don't let your opponent take over. So we draw Jim Hawkins. Makes this kind of weird, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of him. We have our other play line, like I said, we got the Nottingham. If we quest with Robin Hood here, it could bait him to attack into it and crash in case we have the other Robin Hood. Or he can quest and get the draw if he needs it, so kind of leaving it up to our opponent on what they want to do. If they challenge in, I'm okay with that. We don't have the other Robin Hood anyway. And if they don't, I'm okay with that. But they do. So they come down with a Simba also. So they're definitely aggressive in the color choice. We draw into another Prince Eric. We're going to debate who we ink. We are going to ink him after all, though. Like I said, then John Silver is going to come down, because then once we play the Agrabah, he'll have resist 2 and quest for 3. And sitting with Maui and Along Came Zeus in hand, I'm pretty okay with where we're at. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. Is he going to quest bounce to make it safe? Is he going to not quest? Is he going to... What is our opponent going to do? Waiting, and they hardcast friends on the other side. So they're probably just going to pass turn here now because we would just take out the Simba and not get any damage from it. We draw into another Robin Hood. That works out. It's pretty free ink fodder. Then we draw the, we cast the Agrabah. Again, we got resist 2 now, and we quest for 3. So we're going to go to 6 with 6 more on board. We're in a very commanding spot here, especially because even if he does say come down with something like Mim Fox, Fox isn't going to take out anything on her own because of the resist. Ooh, Prince Eric, that's probably the best card he could have came down with. Just because it's guaranteed to get rid of a threat. So, wait for our opponent, waiting. What are we going to do? I do speed these up, by the way, just to move it along a little bit. This one, I guess I could have went in and sped up certain parts a little bit more, like these thinking sessions. Just our opponent wants to make sure they don't make any misplays, thinking about what could we do or have to possibly go wrong. If we put the Maui down, it makes that threat of does Eric get rid of the Maui or the John Silver. John Silver's going to quest in very hard, but Maui's going to basically ruin his board constantly. So, what does our opponent want to do? Thinking here hard, we do decide to ink the Baboom because we're just not going to need it. We quest to get those points. We're up to 12. And then Maui comes down, he's going to get rid of Simba. So now our opponent has a decision. Do you attack into Maui, get rid of it, or do you attack into Maui and get rid of John Silver? How do you handle this? Personally, I think you attack into Maui to put 2 more damage onto him, you get rid of the John Silver, knowing then you have 2 more turns before my locations win the game. If you would get rid of the Maui, I go to 18 on my turn, and you get 1 more turn to figure out a lot more problems. Like, if you can, like, hit the Maui, get rid of the Silver, come down with something, your next turn you take out the Agrabah. I'd be at 15 with threatening 16 with the Nottingham still. Definitely the best bet. Still a very, very poor position to be in. Jim Hawkins comes down. Ability is going to go off, so RLS Legacy, and then we're going to move there and gain that evasive. So yeah, you take out the Maui, or don't take it out, but you hit the Maui, get rid of the Silver. Then next turn, well, you can't quite get rid of it, I guess, so I'd go to 15. You go to 7. Maui can't attack Hawkins. It's going to take 2 turns to get rid of Legacy. And he gets rid of the Maui. But now you get 1 turn, because I'm going to go to 16. Plus, you have no idea what's in my hand. So 18. We go to 18. Could have been 19. If we played properly, throw the Legacy down first, and then use the John Silver. And in addition here, we could have moved Silver to Legacy. Or no, it is a 2 or 3 move. Just use to Jim Hawkins. He moves there for free. Queen's Castle is a 1 cost. That's another card that I was thinking of. So we do get the win, and this time our opponent accepts our rematch. So going second, we have Robin Hood, Storm Rage on, Robin Hood Smash, Jim Hawkins, Nottingham, and Baboom. Not actually a bad hand. We got 2 damage cards. We got our 1 with our shift. We have Hawkins with a location. We have a damage card and let the Storm Rage on. So we keep our hand. We're only having 1 uninkable card, so not in a bad spot. We're going to get rid of Nottingham, which is kind of the least impactful card we get. We drew into another Smash. Turn 2, we can go Baboom on something. Turn 3 then, shift Robin Hood. Can sing Storm Rage on if needed. Could just hard play smash on turn 3. Second Maleficent comes down and it calls me, draws a card. So we quest, we gain 2, we being our opponent. We get rid of the Jim Hawkins then, take out, and then ba-boom, take out. So we're in a decent spot, I feel like, here. Our opponent inks the goat, 4 cards in hand, plays the Agrabah, so we're going to start getting lore that way. Ba-boom would be nice here. Robin Hood shift over, we get 3. Again, if we had that ba-boom, but at the same time, I don't necessarily disagree with how we played it because we can take this out next turn still. So he inks the Jim, Prince Eric comes down. That's unfortunate. Just going to make things awkward here. How should we play this? I decide to Storm Rage on, get rid of it, knowing we're going to lose our Robin Hood, and we draw a card. We're sitting with a 5-2 card advantage, however. So then we go ahead and we ink a smash to stay on curve and play our Captain Hook just as a threat on board. He comes down with Simba and Maleficent. We draw into RLS. I'm debating so much here. I decided to go after him and we play our RLS. Probably should have smashed the Simba just to stop that ahead of time because he's only got 1 card in hand, right? Now he's going to get up to 9, which is pretty big. You hold him to 6, come back with that. I do think that was a misplay. Smash should have taken out Simba. Yeah, really no way around it. Then he would have the 1 in hand, which turns out to be Jim Hawkins. So 7, and then again he goes to 9, and we draw into another smash. So now we smash the Simba anyway. Only difference here is we would be at 1 lore, not 3, but he would be at 6. So again, I don't disagree with that. I think we're in a interesting spot. Maui comes down, which is probably the best card he could have had, takes out our challenger, and then does some damage to Legacy. So now we can't get rid of his Hawkins as easily. We play our Maui, and now Maui. So we're in a decent spot again. But he takes out the RLS Legacy instead, knowing our Maui then will have to take out his. Friends on the other side, ink a Fox. Come down with Prince Eric and Robin Hood. Maui's take out each other. 5-9. We have Robin Hood shift in hand, and Prince Eric comes down. Definitely, should I have done it that way? Because now he'll just attack the Robin Hood and take out this Robin Hood. I probably should have held him in my hand. I drew a second one, and that's what I was just like, oh, okay, I could throw this down. So again, we would be at 6, but he would be at 6 if we played our smashes smarter earlier, which looking back now is a big misplay number 1. Misplay number 2, putting down Robin Hood here. At the very least, we could have just shifted and gained an extra lore, but then you lose your entire board, was a thought. Or I could have just held him in hand. They take each other out, and now I lose my Robin Hood. Had I held him in hand, I would lose my little Robin Hood, but I would still have the other one in my hand. We would not have drawn into Maui until now, though. So at the same time, it works out. Our opponent is in top deck mode. We have nothing too crazy, but we draw into a Be Prepared, although we cannot use it, and honestly, I didn't even realize I couldn't use it. It's like, okay, perfect, Be Prepared, we can play with that. And I should have inked the Prince Eric. With where we're at, I should have inked the Prince Eric to get towards that Be Prepared so we can actually use it when we need to use it. Our opponent really thinking this through. Let's see if we can't. Oh, it comes down with a Prince Eric. Did we skip something else in there? Yeah, we did. Comes down with Prince Eric. Sorry, I just a little tired of waiting. And there we, again, did an ink, which, because I completely overlooking that we don't have 7 ink for the Be Prepared, which I realized it in the game. Actually, right about now is when I realized it in the game. And it's just very unfortunate. Our opponent has 2 in hand. We're mismanaging our resources, and we're actually letting him back in the game quite a bit. He crashes and then takes out the Robin Hood. And then Lady Tremaine comes down. So we lose a lot. We have Robin Hood be prepared, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily in a great spot because our be prepared is essentially useless. We ink our Baboom and see if our opponent wants to quest and lose his Lady Tremaine. Hawkins comes down. We get a Hawkins. Now it's, again, even more interesting because do you play into the be prepared? Do you turn it online? And another Prince Eric. Again, this card is just so awkward. Debating here so much what we want to do. Along came Zeus. Get rid of the Jim Hawkins. And now he's going to Prince Eric, and then our Agrabah comes down. We ink our Robin Hood, take out the Agrabah, quest with Jim Hawkins, and pass. Be Prepared is live now. Our opponent, he'd go to 15, we'd go to 15, he'd go to 19. So we're not in a winning position. I guess, let's see, we got Robin Hood. So here he goes to 15, depending what that is. We go to 15, put him down, he goes to 19. Yeah, we're not in a spot where we can race our opponent. We lose that race. Again, those few misplays earlier really looking like they may bite us because we gained such an advantage on our opponent, and just a couple not optimal plays really let our opponent right back into it. So he does crash in there and he has the goat. Now he can go quest with Tremaine. We draw Legacy. At 14, 15 if we be prepared. Otherwise, if we put Legacy down, he quests to 17, goes to 18, we go to 19, because Legacy will get us 2, Jim will quest for 2. Then we be prepared. Oh man. And then we should be able to win. But he's going to also just take out our Jim Hawkins instead. We do go Robin Hood here. That kind of like Legacy, I guess the play was similar. Otherwise he's at 5, that's 4, or sorry, not Legacy, the Agrabah. Madame Medusa coming down just really hurts because now he goes to 17, threatening game. So be prepared. Or we did have the Legacy, now we have Agrabah. So as long as he puts down something that doesn't give him multiple lore, because if he puts down anything that quests for 1, we put both our locations down. His turn, he quests for 1. Our turn, we go to 19. But then if he puts another thing down that quests for 1, we still lose. Kind of a nail biter here. Probably should have used Be Prepared the turn I played Robin Hood. So that's our third big misplay. So we kind of nailed the trifecta of misplays. And it's Queen's Castle and we draw Jim Hawkins. I don't think there's any way we can win this game now. So it's looking like we go to game 3 because we played Jim, Legacy, move to Legacy. He goes to 19, we go to 19. If we draw, we're not playing Mim Fox, Maui or Along Came Zeus. I think Maui and Along Came Zeus, and as long as he doesn't put down something that gains a lore, is our only way to win. We have 1 Maui, 2 Maui, 1 Zeus. Okay, so odds are we're not going to get what we need, but it's not said and done yet. There's still a chance. Our opponent thinking this through very hard. So wonder if they're just debating, do I put it down? But if I be prepared or a way to clear it, I guess Maui and Zeus are 5 and 4 would leave 2. If it's a low cost card and I have Baboom in hand already, but he's gonna lose to that no matter what then. I think in his spot, okay, so it is another card that'll quest him one. We do lose the game. I don't think there's any scenario, our opponent ended up not accepting. I don't think there's any scenario that you don't just throw it down, because you lose otherwise. If you wait until you have 2 cards, you still lose. So I don't know. I think that you, oh, now you guys get to see all my behind the scene type stuff. I didn't have it quite ready. I'll move myself over here. If you don't just put it down right away, you lose that game every time. So I think you could just throw it down a little bit faster. Cost curve, 8 1 costs, 11 2s. We have 14 3s, 9 4s. Our 5s come in heavy at 15 and 3 7s. We are playing 14 uninkables, 33 characters, 4 Captain Hook, and 4 Robin Hood as our 1-drops. Prince Eric as our 2-drop character. Him and Hook being Challenger is just very strong for us. It allows us to help dictate the board presence and keep our opponent's characters at bay. Again, that's kind of the idea of this deck. Between like Captain Hook, Prince Eric, Maui, and your other Prince Eric, you can really control the board and let your locations get you that lore. Jim Hawkins and John Silver both pair up with your locations really well, being able to play them and move there for free with your Jim, or your John Silver gaining resist and more lore for questing because of how many locations you have. We're playing Steel, so Beast makes sense. You could definitely cut this card if you don't have it or have the budget for it. However, we're playing online, so we're going to keep him in there. Robin Hood, he's draw power, by the way, and when he's damaged, he's just a complete truck. Robin Hood. He can quest for multiple, or he can challenge and control the board and gain you lore that way. So he also fits just very well. So again, we have board control, shift, board control, locations, board control, location, board control, draw power / board / questing, and then questing or board control. Everyone does a very good job with what they should do in this deck. Action cards. We have 3 Baboom and 4 Smash to help deal with our opponent's boards. Let the Storm Rage on as a 2 of. I might actually cut this card. Wanted to show you guys the exact list I use. Cut this card all together, play a 4th Zeus and a 4th Be Prepared maybe. Keeps our uninkables the same, but gives our power cards a little bit better chance to be seen. Because right now we're playing each at 3. And then we are playing 12 locations, the 2 multiple lore gainers, and then our Nottingham, which just passively gains us a lore, and with 6 willpower is pretty tough for your opponent to deal with. The deck is nowhere near budget, unfortunately. Again, if you don't want to play the beasts, we just put 3 in there as a utility card. You could really take them out and put other things in. I think it would be perfectly fine. I don't think he's required whatsoever. So, like, you could even say pull out the 3 beasts. I wouldn't want to use him to add our other Be Prepared. You have Strength of the Raging Fire that you could add. That's an inkable damage card. You can put in another Baboom. Yeah, I think there's other ways. You don't need the beast. That would cut $150 off the budget, which is almost a third of the entire deck. So probably where I'd start with that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, take care.